I'm Santosh Kumar. Today I'm going to explain about P2P cycle. P2P, it is called procure to pay or else purchase to pay. Generally in a company or organization, when we take it as a cycle, it is not related to only manufacturing or material management. It is related to the organization, P2P, procure to pay. For example, we have different modules like FI. Here it is linked to SD and PP, HR. There are multiple modules. So every department requires something. For example, material management, they require the raw material, and for example, sales department, they require for their department they require something. At the same time, like HR department requires stationery or whatever it is. Every department requires something for their office users and whatever it is. They require something. So here, basically, when they require something, they cannot purchase directly. They'll have the purchase requisition. Means whatever they require, they'll have a purchase requisition form. They'll enter in that, they'll fill the form, and that is sent to the finance department. They'll ask basically why you require, like what is the last whatever you had the last stock, where is it, like how did you use it, whether it is left out or not. They'll finalize that and they'll accept. The finance head manager or finance lead, the finance department will accept the purchase requisition. Then it will go to the process called quotation. Once the purchase requisition is accepted, we'll accept the quotations from different vendors. So the list of vendors whatever we have, we'll accept the quotations. So based on the quotations, we'll select the vendor, which is like who is giving the best price, quantity and quality. We'll select one vendor and we'll finalize one vendor. So with this vendor, we need all the details of the vendor. Basically, when we purchase something, we need to pay the payment. We have to do that. So with the vendor, we need to have all the bank details and the vendor address, all the basic details of the vendor and bank details to the payment. So once it is done, we will release the purchase order. Purchase order is created in the T code ME21N. Here it is created. So in purchase order, what all we require? So how many quantity we require, what quality require, and then which type of material we require. Like some vendor provides multiple materials, right? Which type of material we require, we'll ask him in the purchase order. So we'll ask him basically, it's a purchase order. So once purchase order is issued, what we'll do is that we'll have an agreement. So once purchase order is issued and we have the finalize of the price and everything, we'll have the agreement. So what price he is selling us, and when we should pay him, at what we have the payment terms, right? Whether it is an immediate payment or else a 14 days payment or 15 days payment or else payment terms basically. Within 10 days if we pay, what is the discount we get? So we'll have agree the price, payment and terms and the quantity, all this. So for example, initially we have to pay 10% down payment, and after the delivery of the goods, we'll be paying the rest of the 50%, and rest of the 40 will be paid in the next 20 days. These are the agreement terms. After once it is agreed, then immediately vendor will send the goods. So vendor will check the availability and he'll send the goods as per the agreement. When he has to send in the agreement, he'll send us the goods. Once he sends the goods are coming to the warehouse. So these charges are called, transportation charges are called freight charges. And who should bear these freight charges? Depends on the agreement basically, whether we should bear it or it is involved in the cost of the purchase order. It depends on the agreement. So when it is coming to the warehouse, at the entry gate of the warehouse, the entryman, the watchman or whatever you call the warehouse man, he'll ask for the goods receipt. In this goods receipt is sent by the vendor. So what all it contains in the goods receipt, whether that that goods receipt is related to our company or not. So what are the quantity you are receiving, and what is the truck number, or else how many quantity and the truck number and yeah, this will receive in the goods receipt, which who is the contact number of the driver and all will receive in the goods receipt. Once he checks it, we have the goods receipt and how many quantity you are receiving, that he'll check in the entry gate itself. So whether the quantity everything is fine, that is sent inside the gate. Then there is one more checking called presiding officer. There are called presiding officers. So quantity is fine, but we don't know whether the stock is in the right manner, whether it is damaged or not. We don't know. Once it is machinery is sent, for example, so they'll check the functionality. Whether machine is working by is there any damage for that, they'll check the functionality. Once it is done, they'll verify. Receiving officers will verify that is okay. Then in this goods receipt, basically this is created in the MIGO T code. In this MIGO, the T code goods receipt is created. So once it is done, the presiding officer will check that and test it okay. Then it is sent inside the warehouse. So when goods receipt has come, what is the entry is inventory account, debit, and GRIR account, credit. This is basically a temporary account. See why? Because why we have created, why we are not having directly into the inventory account, because once it is entered, okay, we understand, we have checked the quality and that is fine. In case if any damage inside, we have any inside damage anything, we have to finalize. We have we can resend it. Once it is sent into the directly account, we cannot deviate that. That is the reason we are creating a temporary account unless until we have finalized, we have done with the vendor. So once this is created and sent inside the warehouse, this is the entry for the goods receipt. Now vendor itself will send the invoice. He'll create invoice and he'll send us. That invoice will have all the details according to the how much. For example, as we told, we'll have the, for example, the quantity is 10 missionaries. We are sending in the first term, we are getting only 5 missionaries, and the rest of the 10 missionaries will get in the next week. So these 5 missionaries, we have selected 10 missionaries, and we are sending in the first goods receipt only 5 missionaries. That is given here in the goods receipt. So in invoice, we'll receive the invoice. So this in this and we'll receive the invoice by the vendor. Now the entry is GRIR account debit, vendor account credit. So when we have the receipt, goods receipt, that entry is inventory account data to GRIR account, and once the goods are confirmed by the presiding officer, then that is sent to the warehouse. Then the entry is GRIR account data to vendor account. Now invoice is sent by the vendor, right? Now we'll enter into our system, our SAP system. The company organization enters that invoice into the SAP system. This invoice and payment is done next. So as we have entered the invoice and payment is done next, and then reconciliation is done by the background team. So this is what the basic the process cycle of the P2P. And then once for the payment, for invoice, vendor account data to GRIR account, and when the payment is done, that is the entry is vendor account data to bank account. So this is the entry for once the payment is done from the company side, this is the entry vendor account data to bank account. And in this we have few concepts which is called involved with purchase order and goods receipt and invoice. So for this, when we are matching with these three, as per agreement, everything is done. That is called three-way matching. So purchase order, we have given the quantity 10 with price of 100, and the GR invoice is with same 100, and the invoice also same 100. So this is three-way matching center. And we have a couple of scenarios such as purchase order is issued GR is issued, but the invoice he sent is 120. This is not three-way matching. Why? Because due to the fluctuations in the market, the price of the raw material may be increased. So then immediately this is not matched. So this is not a three-way matching concept. So once we have updated something in the higher level, we have sent something, and at the end invoice is sent by the vendor is different. So this is not a three-way matching center. And there is another scenario called, for suppose purchase order is done and GRIR is also done, and while receiving the goods, what we have done is that we have understood that there is a damage. For example, there is a damage. Then immediately we have to send that material to the vendor. That is called purchase return, which is company will issue the purchase return. This means that company issues debit note. This means that we have to deduct. For example, we have got 5 machinery in the first installment. Then one is gone damaged. Then one is sent return. That is, we will inform the vendor in the form of debit note. That means that we have received 5, but one is damaged, and we are sending returns. This is called debit note, and that will issued by the receiver. So that's all.
Excellent. Excellent.